Tonight, assault charges against Whalers Mayor to proceed after predictions the case would be dropped. And a virtual war memorial ready to be filled with stories from regional South Australia.
This is Southern Cross News with Fraser Goldsworthy.
Good evening. Whalers Mayor Lynn Brewer will face court again in July after prosecutors told a court they will pursue assault charges against her. She's accused of assaulting the wife of her political rival at a public event late last year. John Hunt joins us now. John, was this how it was expected to play out?
Well, Fraser, at the last hearing there appeared to be a movement towards the case being thrown out of court. However, the magistrate today confirmed the legal process will continue, scheduling a pre-trial hearing in July. Ms Brewer is accused of assaulting Angela Antonio at last year's Remembrance Day ceremony at Memorial Oval. She is a wife of Councillor Tom Antonio, the man Mayor Brewer defeated to become mayor in 2016, and a candidate for SA Best at March's state election. The case had been sent to Adelaide for a review after the last hearing. Today, a court was told the prosecution plans to proceed with the matter, and arrangements are in place for a pre-trial conference. Prosecutors have asked for an 8-week adjournment as army witnesses are spread across the country in different postings. A pre-trial conference date has been confirmed for July 17. Magistrate Oates also directed Ms Brewer to be present in some form for this hearing, preferably in person. Her lawyer Scott Herriman declined to comment outside of court, but confirmed the mayor will fight the charges. Both Whyalla Council and the Mayor herself have released statements following today's developments. Whyalla Council has confirmed no operations will be affected and the Mayor will continue in her role. Mayor Brewer herself has maintained her innocence and confirmed she'll continue to fight the charges. So Fraser, this will continue for at least another 8 weeks.
Thanks, John. John Hunt in Whyalla there. A 34-year-old man from the Mid-North area has been arrested over possessing child exploitation material. It's alleged that some of the children in the material are under the age of 14. He was granted bail and will face the Port Pirie Magistrates Court next month. A 5.6 megawatt solar farm has been officially opened in Peterborough. It's expected to generate around 11 gigawatts of energy every year, with its state-of-the-art tracking technology promising to save South Australians thousands of dollars.
A $9.5 million power source officially connected to the grid.
Fully operational to its maximum capacity for this time of the year from the beginning of May.
More than 15,000 solar panels line 9 hectares of scrub on the outskirts of Peterborough, expected to contribute to powering the state for 35 years.
Clean energy, the fuel is free. You know, we had significant capital cost to build it, but now there is very little cost in operating and maintaining it.
The operators say Peterborough's isolated location allows for the panels to soak up the most amount of sunlight.
So we're able to connect to the 33 kV line that runs past the site, and also about available land.
The state-of-the-art technology tracks where the sun is over the course of the day, generating more power than a standard solar farm.
As you can see by the angle of the panels here, it's following the sun. So as we're setting into the afternoon, the panels would face more and more west.
The Mayor is pleased the farm will help the small community thrive.
The wonderful things that they've done for this community and what they've injected into a small community that's had it damn tough over the last 20 years.
Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
A young mother diagnosed with a rare form of cancer has been granted the wish of a lifetime. The 22-year-old has always been in awe of sharks and was given the chance to get up close and personal with the apex predators.
Living life to the fullest. That's the goal for young Michaela Brisbane from New South Wales, who's been diagnosed with an extremely rare form of cancer.
A year ago I got diagnosed with a rare cancer called alveolar soft part sarcoma. It started in my bum cheek and it spread to my spine, my skull, pelvis, lungs.
The disease so rare, only 20 people in Australia are diagnosed each year.
Watching her go through this, like, I'll always be by her side and I'll always do anything for her. But like, some days watching her when she's in a hospital bed, kills you inside.
The prognosis is very bad. I'm already stage 4 and yeah, so I'm only 22.
Given that prospect, Michaela is looking to make as many lifelong memories as possible.
When we were little, we always said that we wanted to dive with the great whites.
Her ultimate wish came true when a local shark dive charter heard her story and offered her the dream trip.
Not only did I get to tick off one of the biggest things on my bucket list, me and my brother got this memory together that he'll always have.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. Yeah, just seeing the smile on my little sister's face.
Casey Treloar, Southern Cross News.
What an inspiring story. Still to come tonight, the Salvation Army helping the Port Augusta community learn to put food on the table. The details next. Whyalla Council's budget has been sent back to the drawing board after a majority of councillors rejected a proposed rate increase. A motion was presented at last night's meeting to put the next budget out for public consultation with a 5% rate increase. Councillor Sarah Minnie moved a motion calling on it to be redesigned with just a 2.5% increase. Furthermore, council staff were instructed to ensure the new document did not include a budget deficit. Council now has just 6 weeks to get the document remodelled, consulted and approved ahead of the new financial year. The Salvation Army Community Centre in Port Augusta has been transformed into a kitchen to teach cooking. The 2-month program gives participants of all skill levels the chance to learn basic skills, as well as an understanding of the nutrition behind what's on their plates.
An all-purpose community centre turned into a weekly kitchen. The goal, to leave participants with the skills to handle the culinary basics.
It runs for 8 weeks and each week we cook a budget-friendly, easy, healthy meal and we do it together as a group.
The program brings together people from diverse backgrounds under one roof to learn the skills on the chopping board and the secrets of the shopping aisle.
We learn, things like label reading, shopping on a budget, things like that, so it's all education.
On this week's menu, fried rice. And there was plenty of leftovers.
They love being able to cook together, they love trying new food, they love being able to take some home with them.
It's really just coming together, doing something we all need to do is to cook and to eat, and it's just great to see them have fun while they're doing it.
The Salvation Army says its programs like this are only able to operate from the funds raised from the charity's Red Shield appeal. The local fundraising staying in community projects, plus an added bonus from the head office.
We'll probably raise about $7,000 to $9,000 here, but get about $250,000 worth of Red Shield funding given into here to spend.
The Salvos say they're just asking for small levels of generosity to help keep these community projects take big steps forward.
And the community centre is something that thrives from it, and it can only stay open because of the Red Shield appeal.
Garth Burley, Southern Cross News.
Energy Minister Dan Van Holst-Pellekaan says the new government will honour any contracts entered into regarding a proposed virtual power plant. He's also dismissed criticism from Labor about his party's stance on renewables, saying it's committed to developing the region.
Yesterday, Labor was on the front foot on renewables, questioning whether the government will honour contracts regarding the proposed virtual power plant. Today, the government hit back, confirming any deals for the first 1,500 people will be honoured.
Had 3 key components. The first 2 involved a $2 million grant and a $10 million loan from the state government, and those commitments will stand.
The third key component involved Tesla securing private funding for the other 48,000 homes to be connected up. The minister says the government is keeping an open mind to that.
It's always based on Tesla seeking private funding, and of course they're still very open to be able to do that.
He also defended his party's stance on renewables after it was accused by neighbouring MP Eddie Hughes of having a split personality. He says it's committed to developing projects in this region that'll boost jobs and investment.
Renewable energy projects are incredibly important not only for our region but also contributing to the state.
But storage capabilities are a must, something he says the last government failed to do.
Charge headlong into a situation which delivered too many wind farms and too much solar without storage.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
After the break, the Virtual War Memorial ready to be filled with stories from the region. That's next. 50 locals from across Port Pirie have taken part in National Volunteer Week celebrations today, walking as one united group down Ellen Street. Carrying banners, volunteers young and old took to the street to mark the hard work they do for the local community.
We don't do it for pay, so to have somebody say thank you is our payment and makes it all worthwhile.
The group marched to this year's theme, Give a Little, Change a Lot. Port Pirie Sports Precinct and Aquatic Centre are both nearing completion, with the majority of the construction underway. Council says it's a major milestone for the project, with everything running on time and on budget.
Port Pirie is transforming into a key sporting hub. Construction of the new Aquatic Centre is progressing well, with the project now past the halfway point.
Aquatic Centre itself, we've got 85% of the structural steel complete, and really they're getting into the final touches.
All internal and external walls have been installed, including the squash courts and plant rooms.
There's a lot of the roof that's gone on. The interior walls are going in.
Plumbing, electricity and air conditioning is also in place, with a learn-to-swim pool half poured and splash park now ready for concrete as well. While across the road, the sports precinct is also travelling ahead of schedule. Cricket guru Les Burdett says the pitches are some of the best in the world.
The pitches, look, he said they're top-class facilities that we have here in Port Pirie.
80% of the steel structure of the new function centre is also up.
They're starting to do interior walls, starting to work on the roof. The upstairs cementing has been laid, so we can now go up to the top level.
The function space will have the capacity to hold up to 200 people, with 360-degree balcony views of the new precinct.
And at this stage, we should be able to divide that area off as well. We'll have a top quality kitchen and, as I said, a viewing space for both sides.
And it's all on track to be open to the public by early October. Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
Well, with the rise of online digital records, a virtual war memorial, the only one of its kind, has been set up to capture the stories of all Australians who served for the country. Those behind the memorial are now looking to expand its content from regional communities.
Awareness, context and history. That's the basis of the RSL Virtual Online War Memorial, an electronic record honouring those who served for Australia.
We can add photographs of the people, where they served, what they did whilst they were away, what happened when they came back.
The website also includes a school program where students have the opportunity to research and publish their own work.
The objective is so that the kids will get an awareness of where their countrymen have served, so that they can have context about what conflicts that we've been involved in and have an understanding of our history.
The Port Lincoln High School has already joined the program, but there's hope it can be expanded further nationwide.
We want to make sure that it's a key part of the program structure for schools, and that there's a good, significant electronic history of where our people have served.
A luncheon will be held here at the Line and Label next month, where speakers will explain how the website is building. Among those speakers will be one of the last remaining World War II veterans, 95-year-old David Jones.
What we're hoping for is that we can get some encouragement, some awareness around the place, and this lunch that we've got coming up on the 1st of June is just part of that.
Casey Trelaw, Southern Cross News.
To local sport now, Garth Burley is in Port Augusta. Garth, some close results in the regional netball.
Yes, Fraser, many teams had close matches that were fought back and forth throughout the contests, with single digits the only margin to separate many of the sides. Port Augusta Railways extended their run at the top of the ladder against the Vikings, while Magpies are still winless out of their 4 games, going down by 12 points to St Joseph's. In Lincoln, a battle for second and third between Imperial and Winilla Rangers saw Imperial record a big win over the reigning premiers. South United won a close match against St Mary's, and Wayback cruised to a victory against Boston. In Whyalla, Kiwi are starting to forge a big gap between them and second place, with a win against YCW. The Warriors also chalked up a win against True Blue, moving them to second place. Round 10 of Broken Hill netball gave spectators an exciting Tuesday night of matches. West Flames Red beat the Jesters by 6 goals, and in what threatened to be the upset of the season, Nabstars scraped through for a win by a single point against bottom of the table West Flames Black. In Port Pirie, Semi Pine was the star for Central Risdon against Port, and in the other match, Blue Wren defeated SM Celtic by 16 goals. Staying in Pirie for the soccer, and after copping a 7-0 hiding last week, Savoy were this week inflicting the damage, netting 5 goals against South Coast. While in the State League, the Northern Demons rallied to draw level, nearly snatching a late goal, but for a goal line clearance. Steel United were reduced to 10 men and could not make up the difference in their 2-0 loss to the Lions in Whyalla. However, Westlands United will be chuffed after they secured a 3-0 victory. In Port Lincoln, the Lincoln City Raiders continued their winning way against Seacole Masters with a narrow victory. A tale of two halves was the story in the other match, as a goalless first half turned into a 4-0 victory for South Coast at the final whistle. And finally, in the Silver City, Alma scored 4 in their 2-goal win against West, and St Joe's kept a clean sheet in their victory against Celtic. So a few teams on the end of much different scorelines this week, either victorious or in defeat, proving the mantra that you're only as good as your last game. And remember, if you want your sports results featured on Southern Cross News, email us at sport@sca.com.au. Fraser?
Thank you, Garth Burley in Port Augusta there. Well, stay with us. After the break, we'll have all the local weather details with Amy Stevenson. And Amy, the Spencer Gulf saw some cloudy skies return today.
That's right, Fraser. After a sunny start to the week, some areas did see some overcast conditions today. All the details are up next. Welcome back. As previously mentioned, most centres experienced an overcast day, Whyalla and Port Lincoln reaching 18. Some cloud about also in Adelaide, while a mostly sunny day in Port Augusta and 19 degrees. Checking the satellite now, and showers in the southeast thanks to that low cloud lingering over the state with cool southerly winds, clearer skies in the far north under high pressure. If you're out and about on the waters tomorrow, southeasterly winds will pick up to 10 knots, while seas will remain relatively calm at 1 metre. Sunrise is at 7:09, while the sun will set at 22 past 5. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, and the cloud will hang around in some parts. Clare will reach 16, while Port Lincoln can expect 18. Mostly sunny in Port Augusta and Whyalla, with temperatures heading to 20 degrees. Heading into the later half of the week, sunny conditions will return in Port Lincoln before a top of 22 on Saturday. Cleve will also warm up early on the weekend, with maximums in Woodnah reaching 24. A sunny start to the weekend predicted in Whyalla, with temperatures sitting in the 20s. Port Augusta can expect a high of 23 over the weekend, while Kadina will also hit the low 20s to kick off the weekend. Nothing but sunshine in Port Perry over the coming days, 23 the top there on Saturday. Cloud will clear in Clare late in the week, however it'll remain slightly cooler, and after a run of fine days, Broken Hill will reach 21. So Fraser, despite some cloud about, the sun will return as the weekend creeps up on us once more.
Thanks, Amy. A look at tonight's top stories now. Whyalla's Mayor Lynn Brewer will face court again in July after prosecutors told a court they will pursue assault charges against her. She's accused of assaulting the wife of her political rival at a public event late last year. A 34-year-old man from the Mid-North area has been arrested over possessing child exploitation material. It's alleged that some of the children in the material are under the age of 14. And Port Pirie's Sports Precinct and Aquatic Centre are both nearing completion, with the majority of the construction underway. Council says it's a major milestone for the project, with everything running on time and on budget. And that's the local news for this Tuesday. Thanks for your company. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.